Welcome to PittFactor. I'm Matt Pittman. We're here today at Hobbs Island Shooting Range. I'm here with Matthew Kennedy. Freaking barely know this dude, and he's like, let's go shoot, and that is so cool to me. That's one of the biggest things that I love about this sport. USPSA or all the other four-letter names to shooting, I feel like USPSA seems to be the right spot for me, and I love seeing the younger folks coming in. We got guys like Matt that are running like, well, you're a master in
Master in Carry Optics, A class in PCC.
Heck yeah, dude. So actively pursuing that master, that big M for PCC. He's got the right tools for the job. What is the rifle or what is the PC weapon that you're using to compete with?
I'm using a Mean Arms Maul upper on a standard AR-15 lower, but there's also guys crushing it out there with just about anything. It's the gear more than the shooter. The Maul just makes it easy.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, it looks beautiful. Like, I literally saw it 2 days before I met you at the match in Woodville. And that group is
RCPS, Rocket City Practical Shooters.
Rocket City Practical Shooters. So great group of dudes. That's in Woodville once a month at different times of the month. Is that correct?
Yep, we generally run one USPSA and one PCSL match every month. USPSA is usually on Saturdays, PCSL is usually on Sundays. PCSL is 2-gun, so that's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, man. We're also out here with my brother again, Tim. He's behind the camera, but he's shooting his Dan Wesson DWX. I don't know why I keep wanting to say DMX. So we're going DWX. I'll probably put a DMX track over that. Anyways, pumped on the day. It's beautiful out for December. It's weird, feels like summer, and we're ready to get send some down the range.
All right, so the first drill that we're going to go over today is the Blake drill. This is kind of a nice diagnostic drill that I like to do for folks that are newer into it. I also like to jokingly refer to it as the break drill because it tends to do that to people. So the setup is pretty simple. 3 IPSC or USPSA targets, arbitrary spacing, arbitrary range. It's just 3 targets in close range, a quick succession. So a couple things that this is going to test. I mean, obviously you're going to have to draw, but the main thing that this is going to test is transitions. Transitions are where people tend to lose a lot of time on stages. You'll have people that can, you know, they have a good grip, they have good trigger control, and they can just absolutely rip alphas and get fast splits, but they're losing a lot of time on transitions. And I'll kind of demonstrate in dry fire what that looks like. So you'll have people, they'll come up and they'll go, bah, good alpha, and then it takes them about 3 to 5 business days to get the gun to the other target. They settle a little bit, 3 to 5 business days, set on the target, and that transition is where they're losing a lot of their time. And especially on a big stage where you have to go from target to target to target, it just eats up a lot in general. So I'll kind of demonstrate in live fire what that looks like too. If you wouldn't mind giving me a beat, I'm going to literally show you kind of what people will do. And I'm just setting myself up. There we go.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
What was that?
That's 355.
355. So let's see. I've got 2 Alpha, Alpha Charlie. I probably rushed that last shot on the last target. So I'm sure what y'all noticed there is that I ripped off decently fast splits. I mean, let's see. Yeah, I was splitting at around 0.15, 0.16. But the issue is that, I'm sure y'all saw, it took me a minute to get the gun over. I settled on target. And then pretty much all the time I'd gained in the splits, I'd lost just because of how long it took me to get the gun over. So now I'm going to show kind of what that should look like.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
All right. I've got 2 Alpha, and another Charlie. Did it again. 249. So I'm sure what you guys noticed that time is I got the gun from point A to point B a little quicker. And that's really what sped up the drill for me.
So what were you looking for with your eyesight? What's up?
Yeah. Come on, man. Production, man.
I don't know what I'm doing. So what were you doing with your eyes to speed that up?
Absolutely, yeah. So vision is a very, very important part of shooting. And it's a general concept known as eyes lead the gun. So as soon as I break my second shot on the first target, the moment I feel that shot break and I call it feels like a good shot, my eyes are immediately going to the center of the A zone on the next target. And that gives me a reference point to drive my gun towards. And then same deal. Second shot on that one, call a good shot, feels good, eyes come off and get to that one. Another concept that will help you out a lot during this drill is the 90-10 concept that was created by J.J. Ricazzo. So the analogy I like to use for that is, think about you're driving a car up to a stoplight. Would you rather go full speed there and then just slam on the brakes? Or would you rather take your foot off the gas and then coast to a stop? That's kind of the analogy that I like to go at it there. 90% effort, 10% just letting it coast in. And it doesn't have to be 90-10. It can be 80-20, 70-30, kind of just depends. When someone doesn't understand this concept, things will look like this. I'll do this dry, just so we don't need live ammo to show it. All right. So things that will typically get people on the Blake drill, or drills that involve a lot of target transitions, is over or under transitioning. So a lot of times, without the 90-10 concept, break 2 good shots here. Kind of see what happened there. I brought my gun over.
Yeah, I do that. I do that every time.
Yeah. So there's 2 kind of main causes of that. Number 1 is the eyes not being on that guy, and secondly is just driving the gun over too hard. You didn't go too fast. You just put too much physical effort into it. And at the end of the day, this is something that weighs, what, 2, maybe 3 pounds, and you're accelerating it maybe 6 feet left or right.
Yeah.
It's your turn now.
All right.
All right, load make ready.
I'm going to do exactly what he did.
Let's see.
And you're just in the center right here.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. All right, don't remember, eyes lead the gun as soon as you break that second shot, and make sure that you arrive ready on that target. Folks will tend to let their grip go loose, and then it kind of leads to a slow shot cadence. So make sure that your eyes arrive to that next target, your gun gets there, and your grip is there.
Copy.
Do a quick mental rehearsal of it and air gun it if you want to.
Okay.
Remember, eyes lead. So your eyes in your head starts moving before your gun does.
Okay. So that's way over exaggerated, but that idea.
Kind of. There isn't much movement that has to happen here. You minimize the amount of unnecessary movement, it'll speed you up a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by. All right, that was a 3-2-9. All right, so hits on the first one. I saw an Alpha and a Delta on the first one.
Yeah.
I saw Alpha Charlie on the second and an Alpha Charlie on the third.
Okay.
So what was probably happening there was you took that first shot and then kind of felt that like, oh crud sensation.
Yes. I thought the crud before the beep went off.
Happens to all of us, man.
Yeah.
But what was probably happening there is that oh crud sensation that you feel going on makes you rush. And all of the Charlies and Deltas that you pulled on these targets, they were all on the right. So on that first target, you see that Delta on the right side.
Yeah.
Far right Charlie on the middle.
Yeah.
And then one of those was mine earlier, but you can see the one again on the far right.
Yeah.
So what's likely happening there is you're starting the transition as you're pulling the trigger for the second shot.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's really important to, again, regain that second sight picture, but we're up close. If you see a flash of red or a flash of green in the Alpha, send it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me do one more round of that and see if anything changes.
Are you ready? Yep. Stand by. All right. 3-7-3, roughly same time. However, all Alphas.
All right. I'm going to get behind the camera where I do really good at.
I can't holster because I don't have my holster yet. I'll just
right.
do like a low ready.
Send it, man. You're good. Tim's going to be having a focal yo-yo going back and forth because he's shooting iron, so that's going to make things a little more challenging for him. But he's getting an optic soon, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. All right, so first and second targets were good. That was a 2-4-2. However, on the center target, you sembling into the Delta. It was your first shot, so I'm willing to bet what happened.
I shot too early.
Yeah.
I pulled the trigger too early, yeah.
I know. You probably felt that oh crud sensation.
Yeah.
And as soon as you saw your front sight on that target is probably when you broke it. But it happens. So you guys kind of had the opposite problem. You were over transitioning and Tim was under transitioning. But the first and last ones look good. So let's give that another try, see how it goes. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. Much better. All right, that was a 2-4-1. Now, the only thing with that one is you sent a Charlie into that last target, so a little bit of an under transition on that last one, but you were solid in the middle and didn't rush through that.
Okay. Cool.
All right, that is all we got for the Blake drills.
We've got so one of my biggest weaknesses is my footwork, for sure.
Fair comment.
Yeah, my hesitation, like we just worked with eye movement, head movement. And I mean, from the start of that, we shaved off like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, no. At the start of the session, you were kind of hesitant once you got on target because your gun was there, but your eyes kind of caught up later.
Yeah.
Over and under transitioning, very common beginner problem. But yeah, once you figured out that your eyes had to get ahead of your gun and you were able to call your shots and get off your last target faster, What's actually kind of crazy too is your splits stayed about the same. They didn't really change, but your transitions alone like saved you 2 seconds on that drill.
It was huge. So that was really helpful to see you slow that process down, to see visually that you said, look at the brim of my hat. You could see that move, and then the gun went with it. So that was really cool. So then the next step is my footwork. So I need to learn how to, just like you snap your eyes over to the target, I need to learn how to snap my feet into the next position, I feel like.
Well, the good news is your eyes do play a part in that.
Okay.
So we've got a really simple drill set up here. This is one that Brantley Merriam talks about a lot.
I'm gonna step behind it so we can demonstrate kind of what you're doing.
All right, so this is a drill called the 2-position drill. Brantley Merriam is a big proponent of this one, and it's a great drill for working on cleaning up your movement, getting good shots, and also just getting in of and out of position very quickly. So the setup is really simple. We've got 2 sticks and 2 targets. I know, super complicated, right? So where a lot of people tend to struggle on their footwork in this is taking big, over-exaggerated steps and kind of crashing into position. When I first started in the sport, if you go back and look at some of my older videos, you see me, well, or hear me rather, just going stop, 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 stop when I get in a position. First off, that's wonderful for your knees. But secondly, it also tends to make your muzzle bump up and down, and your sights don't settle the way they should before you can take the shots. And even if you're the frickin' Flash and you get in a position nice and quick, you're losing time waiting for your gun to stabilize because you don't want to take the shot when you're shaking around here like a drunken monkey. So what'll typically happen is I'm just going to air gun this.
Yep.
Is folks will get in, and I'm just going to frickin' bum rush it. So for this drill, we're gunning from one side of the stick to the other side of the stick. So. And you can see there, if that was maybe a little over-exaggerated, but I took these big, huge steps coming into position. I was so unstable when I came in, and I lost a good amount of time doing this because I had to re-stabilize myself and get my air gun back up again. So for this one, a key thing to really help you out here is to look at the spot you want to move before you move. Kind of like the designated target drill. We get our eyes to the next target before our gun gets there. We got to get our eyes to that next spot before our feet move there. So that spot on the ground over there, on the other side of that stick, that's where my focus is going to be. So I'm taking my second shot. My eyes catch it. I move over. And as I get closer, I have to decelerate a little bit before I take that second one. At full speed, it'll look kind of like this. This gravel isn't helping the problem, but you're not always going to have an ideal surface to shoot on. You got to deal with what you got. And something you're going to notice in this one is I'm going to take a lot shorter, choppier steps and kind of shuffle into position. It looks weird, but I guarantee it works wonders. So, second shot. And you'll notice that time I was standing straight up, nice and stable. I didn't have to wait for myself to settle. And in the long term, it's also a little nicer on your knees. So I'm going to do this in live fire real quick to give you all a demonstration of that. And it's really simple. Just draw 2 rounds on the first target, get into the next position, 2 rounds on the next. So we'll just go for it. All right, so I kind of fumbled the draw there a little bit, but you see, as I got into that second position, my gun was already up and ready to go. Something else that the new folks in the sport tend to do, and especially folks that have military and law enforcement backgrounds, is they'll pull the gun in a little bit, which it happens, it's natural. You don't want to keep your gun sticking out there. But the problem that creates is that you get into this position, now I have to stop, represent my gun, and then fire my sight, take shots. Versus, if I just keep my gun up the entire time while I'm getting into position, it's there, it's ready to go. So this first one, we're gonna do it dry. So show me an empty chamber real quick. Perfect, thank you. All right.
So we're doing dry?
Yeah, we're gonna do it dry. Now, obviously, we're not gonna record your time because you're not firing any shots, but the beep will just give you something to react to. So, kind of to reiterate, on the beep, draw, engage that first target with 2 rounds, get over to the other side of the second stick and engage the right target with 2 rounds.
Okay.
So, give yourself a quick mental reversal of it.
Boom, boom.
You're in position, gun comes up, boom, boom. All right. And tell you what, if you want to rack the slide so you can give yourself a dry fire shot, there you go. All right. Are you ready? Stand by. All right, so that was roughly a 4.39, and I just got that from slapping the shot timer.
Okay.
So I get what you mean earlier because you felt a little timid in your movement coming over.
Yeah.
I noticed it. It happens. It's all good. So
I can't figure out what foot first should I cross over, because I see dudes doing that.
So
Do stuffing out this way.
hold this for a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this dry. So me personally, when I'm in a position like this, I like to push off of my left foot and drive my right over.
Okay.
And as you come across the line, one thing that'll kind of help is if your left foot gets over and then your right foot gets right behind it.
Okay.
You don't want to take a big over exaggerating step over here, because that'll kind of throw you off a little bit. Are you ready? Stand by. Better. 360. So I was a little late on hitting the timer on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, that was solid. Are you ready? Stand by. Four, 3, 7. Now, given we can always dry fire a little faster than we can live fire.
Sure.
But the main thing that stood out to me was you exited quickly and your gun was up and ready, and there wasn't much of a delay between arriving in a position and taking that shot.
Heck yeah. Shoot ready? Stand by. Nice, dude. All right, so we're at our last practice stage of the day. It's been a fantastic day. We've been out here for hours. I can't thank Matthew Kennedy enough for running me and my brother Tim through a bunch of different paces. I have learned an immense amount. It's always a wealth of information, especially because it's new, right? So this last stage that we have, practice stage that we have set up, is kind of going to bring all of those elements together in one stage. So working visually with your eyes from target to target, working your eyes visually with your feet placement and how to make those steps, and bringing your gun up to sight as you're easing into the next pace versus abruptly stopping and then trying to figure it out. So all those put together should be a much smoother experience in getting through a stage, because it's all about being close.
Baba.
Stand by.
Yes, Baba.
5, 2, 3, 2 5 splits.
All right, you ready? Stand by. Stand by. Anyways, see you guys next time. I appreciate you following along on PittFactor. See you on the match.